to my channel. I just wanted to talk to you today about 10 things about me. I'm just doing this tag because I saw someone else do it and she had some questions, but I didn't have any questions. I'm just going to reveal 10 things about me that you don't know, which most of you don't know me at all, so this is going to just be FYI. Alright, the first thing is my kids call me Miss Delmore, but my last name is actually Delmore Williams. I am married to an awesome man, and we've been together off and on for about 10-11 years, so he knows me in and out. So also I have a 4-year-old daughter. I mentioned her in my previous videos. And we got a smaller family. I have a stepdaughter as well, but she lives in Phoenix, Arizona. Hi, Anna. We have a smaller family here where I'm from, New Orleans, Louisiana, born and raised. But I've moved here to attend school and I never left. That's where I met my husband at. And I already did a why did I decide to teach video, so I'm not gonna go into that. But I will say this: what brings me the most joy about teaching? And that question is very important to me. What brings me joy is the relationships that I have with my kids. Some of them I can get really close to, and some of them they kind of be distant, but the way that I am, I try to engage them and become like a teacher friend to them, because like I told you in my previous video, you never know what the kids will need from you. Some of them just need you to teach them. Some of them really just need you to be consistent and be there. Some of them need you to be firm. Some of them need you to just listen to them and just hear their little stories and let them talk your ear off, and you just got to be there. So that's what brings me the most joy, to know that I'm there for them for whatever their needs are. Where would I want to teach? That question, I mean, I teach in Louisiana now, and this is one of the lowest paying states when it comes to an actual paycheck. When it comes to education, we just got a little small raise, in Louisiana, but most people don't understand like that tax raise will turn out to be like $68 a month. So whatevs. But I will say that I probably will want to teach in Savannah, Georgia. I don't know too much about it, but I did have a teacher. She moved there and she just raved about it. She loved it and was talking about the school systems out there. I do not know much about Savannah, Georgia, but I do know that it's beautiful, and I do know that the reviews and what my former teacher said about it, it made me intrigued to know what they're doing out there. So I don't know if I'll teach there for long, if it's not what she said, but that's where I would want to go to kind of experience teaching. What do I dislike most in teaching in schools? To be honest with you, it would be teachers that are there for the wrong reasons and look and nitpick at everything that's going on and have negative things to say all the time and every day about the kids and about the school, and I just don't have time for that. The way I'm set up, I just don't be having time for that. That is like one of my major pet peeves. And the kids, they're gonna be kids, and I'm not saying that I'm most understanding to what they're doing, but I say this: I do not like that the negative tones that come out of certain teachers, because it feels like they can't put themselves in their shoes. And to be honest with you, the type of schools that I teach at, I was those kids, and I was a kid like them, so I just have more empathy for their plights, so I just deal with that way. What makes me excited about teaching this upcoming school year? What makes me excited about teaching this upcoming school year is that I'm moving grades, and I've done this before. I went from 3rd grade to 4th grade. It was a great transition. I had to learn the progression and curriculum and understand what the kids were supposed to have known coming from 3rd grade to 4th grade. And now they're in 4th grade, and looking at what was the students' deficit is like really great, at some facets. So going to 5th grade, I'm I am going to be departmentalized to just science and social studies. And I'm so excited about that because I want to really have the kids a part of an environment where they're experiencing learning. And I'm not saying that in my last class they weren't experiencing learning. What I'm saying is my teaching strategy is going to be more of an inquiry based, which means that I want them to question everything that I'm telling them. I want them to raise their hand, me, I want to know, I want to understand, I want to question, I want to research, I want to look this up. I'm not going to just take your word for it. And a lot of teaching in the past has been me giving and administering them and administering a lesson to them, and then seeing if they can do whatever that particular thing is. So if it was me showing them how to do compare and contrast, then by the end, if they mastered comparison and contrasting two different novels or something like that, I understand that, but the why is missing with a whole lot of curriculum. So I think with me teaching science and social studies, we now can get down to the why. We now can understand the why and question the why. And I want to, like I said, incorporate inquiry-based learning into my classroom. So I'm so excited about seeing how I can effectively maneuver that in my classroom. And I just want that whole experience to happen on my watch. What I think I am more afraid of coming into this school year, to be honest with you, I'm never afraid. The biggest thing is my mental. And what I mean by that is I overthink, I overprocess, I overbuy, and I have all of this stuff and all these resources and all these things in my mind. But there is a fine way to do things. And to find that one thing that just kind of makes me organized and deliberate, sometimes it takes a while to get there. And I really want to get there first and say, okay, this is exactly to the T what I want to do. And I think that what scares me the most. I haven't figured out how I will implement what I want in my classroom to the T. And how I'm going to set up my classroom. And I'm going to bring you guys along on a journey when I go into the school of me setting up my classroom, getting things together. But I haven't figured it exactly out because I am moving classes, and the way things were done previously, that's not how I would set things up. But I haven't figured everything out to the T. So I do journal and note take everything that comes through my mind, and I process it, put it on paper, process it and put it on paper. And after I put it on paper, I map it out, and I see. But right now it's just a whole lot of processing and putting on paper. And by the end of next week, I want to have that to the T thing that I want to do. That's gonna allow me to manage my classroom, manage what I'm doing every week, manage my lesson plans, manage my this kids transitioning into my environment, and just overall management of that whole experience. So it's very hard to kind of get people who've been doing that for a long time, because I really don't know too many people in the teaching field at this point. However, I do plan to get to know a couple of people and more at professional developments, kind of see who I can kind of glean from. But at this point, I haven't found anybody, so whatever. Is it easy to collaborate with other teachers throughout the community in the district? To be honest with you, it hasn't been for me. I really don't have too many teacher friends that really reach out, and kind of departmentalize and talk and stuff like that, and go through lessons and stuff like that. And that's one thing I really would love to get going, kind of like a cohort of teachers that are teaching the same subject, and we kind of get together and talk about what the standards are saying and how we can kind of make our classroom look cohesive across the district. I would like to get that going. However, that's for someone else to do right now. Someone is hired to do that. So I know I can benefit from it, and many other teachers. So hopefully that comes about this school year. However, we have a lot of other troubles and a lot of other things that we can probably be doing in school. So I will try to figure that out on my own this year. But I would love to collaborate with teachers that are part of the same department with the science and social studies as I am this school year, to kind of have that connective tissue and that connective fabric to kind of keep us on the same pace and the same processes, and kind of share out information for those who are new to the area as myself. I think I'm almost done with my questions. The last one I will say is, why do you think that students will connect to you? And I will say that my approach to teaching is, I think that I'm teaching the whole kid. So when I teach the whole kid, there is a side, and I come from a psychology background, which was a psychology minor, and the kid have a longing. They have a longing for competition, to be heard, to be left alone if they want to be left alone, so they have to have their little time, but also to be disciplined and to have consistency. And with all of those things, and me understanding that, I try to make sure that I am a well-rounded teacher. And well-rounded means that I want to get to know the whole child and their needs in all of those areas. So within the first 2 weeks of school, I really just get to know them. Try to talk to them, understand where they come from, their background, what are their motivations, what gets them to shut down, what gets them pumped up and open up. What's their favorite subject, and how did that become their favorite subject? What gets those light bulbs and questions and thought processes going? And what about 60 to 70 kids that I will have throughout the day? That will be a lot, and that's why I said I give myself the first 2 weeks to kind of try to get a little prescription on each one of those kids. Look at their cumulative folders, see where they come from, see what other teachers said about them, and try to understand them in their essence. So I try to get to know my audience, and I will do a video about first year teachers understanding, even if they have a background in teaching, when it comes to having student taught or substituting or doing an internship or whatever they decided to do in order to get into the classroom. The biggest thing is you have a new audience every year, and you have to make those adjustments every year. And I'm going to talk about how to adjust in another video. This video was more about just getting to know me and my thought processes, and I just appreciate you guys listening and tuning in. All right, so next time I will, like I say, this channel will have a whole variety of things, so hopefully you guys tuned in. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, Drew Squad.